Ravens Chiefs first. Chiefs favored by 6.5, over under 53. Looks like Lamar Jackson again for the Ravens. They've been moving the ball on the ground. I mean, he's not perfect, but it's become a very run-centric offense, and it seems to be working. But now, see, here's the weird thing about this. If the spread was really big, if it was 10 or 11 or something, I would have thought a team like the Ravens that shortens the game, even against the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs can score in a split second. But when you shorten the game, you give the team less time to possess the ball, you would think it contracts everything, the margin of victory, the over-under, whatever. What do you make of this one? Can the Chiefs, the Ravens defense is really good. The Chiefs have only scored less than 30 twice. Can they rack it up on the Ravens, or is it going to be a little different than usual for them?
I think they can rack it up on them. What's interesting, I think, is what happens with the Chiefs without Kareem Hunt. I mean, I wrote about this in the column, my weekly column, a couple of days ago that published on Wednesday. He was such an explosive part of that offense, and even though they went out and scored 40 points against the Raiders, and how many yards did they gain? They gained a ton of yards. Both of which they gained 469 total yards, which the 40 points and the 469 yards was the fourth most of the season on both statistics. So, on the face of it, missing Kareem Hunt didn't seem to affect that game. But again, the Raiders are one of the worst rushing defenses in the league, or one of the worst defenses in the league in general. You have to wonder what happens without him. Spencer Ware is a guy who looks like he's going to get most of the carries, but statistically has never been that great. He had a good season a couple of years ago, but missed all last year with a knee injury. Damian Williams, the backup, has played in the NFL for 5 years, and he's gained just 516 yards in 70 games. So he's not like he's not the savior that I don't know if anybody expects him to be the savior, but he's probably not going to be that savior. So I think losing Kareem Hunt makes that team a little more one-dimensional. Again, they're going to be able to score. It's not our problem, but missing a guy like Kareem Hunt, I think, could be the difference between a team that has a chance to win the Super Bowl and a team that is an early exit playoff loser. I think he makes that kind of difference.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
No, so in this game in particular, I know I'm going with the Chiefs, but because I think that plus 6.5 is a little too low, but if I'm a Chiefs fan, I'm worried about the rest of the season, especially when they go into January.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on this week. I'm taking the Chiefs. Look, just because the Ravens defense is good doesn't mean that the Chiefs aren't way better than them as a team. So
what happens with the Ravens when they fall behind? When they fall behind by points, 20 points. They've been behind a little bit with Lamar Jackson in there, but they have not been losing by more than a touchdown early in the game. So I think they were down 7-0 a couple weeks ago. Last week, I can't remember. They were down 7-0 at one point. Not a big deal. But when they're down 14-0 or 21-0, what is Lamar Jackson? Lamar Jackson isn't a great passer yet, so that really, then that's we're gonna see what happens when something like that happens. If the Chiefs have the ability to get off to that 21-0 start.
Right. Yeah. If he has to throw, bad for the Ravens. Mm-hmm. That's it. He's just not ready for that yet. Also, yeah, I'm not I'm higher on Spencer Ware than you are. Just because, last year, look, I think Hunt's better than him, yeah. But last year, if he hadn't gotten hurt in the preseason, he would have been the starting back instead of Hunt. That was the way they were leaning anyway. So, I'm a fan. And I know he didn't do that great last week, but I like him.
Yeah, he went 47 yards and 14 carries last week, which is, okay. But again, the Raiders are a terrible rush defense.
Yeah.
And the lead rusher was Pat Mahomes, and that's not what you want either,
No. All right, so we're both taking the Chiefs. Right now on NFLPickwatch.com, 65% of the experts like the Chiefs given the points. 69% of the fans like the Chiefs given the points again. This just seems like a low spread to me at Arrowhead. That's all. Even though the Ravens are hot, I think it's weird. I think, again, because their defense is good doesn't mean they're that good as a team. That's all. So, all right. So Chiefs for both of us. Okay.